This is a WECT Cape Fear Business Break.
Good afternoon, Megan Donahue here with John Clell Hamm, owner of Hamm Hearing Aid Center. How are you, Clell?
I'm doing well, Megan. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. What are we talking about today?
Today, let's talk a little bit about phonemic regression and auditory deprivation. And those are really technical terms. I'm going to try to simplify those concepts for our viewers. However, when one has a hearing loss, what happens is we hear with our brain. The ears are just the pathway to the brain. So over time, if you have a loss, you're not hearing certain phonemes like sh, pa, fa, ta. And what happens is someone with hearing loss starts to lose the ability to recognize those sounds. And we've known of studies on auditory deprivation since the early 1980s, and it's a really compelling thing that I think most of our viewers and most people are not aware of the consequences of untreated hearing loss, the real consequences beyond just quality of life issues, beyond just struggling to communicate with your spouse or the frustration that comes from that, but really the effect it's having on your brain. And so what we know is someone who has a hearing loss and doesn't treat that hearing loss, on average will lose 18% of his or her understanding every 5 years.
Wow. But
if you treat it, if you wear hearing aids consistently, the average loss is 2% every 5 years. I mean, that's pretty compelling. Think about that. That's almost 8 times as much hearing loss, or understanding loss rather, if you don't treat it. Now, I'm not talking about your thresholds. I'm talking about your ability to understand speech. So my message today for our viewers is don't take your understanding for granted and don't assume that it's going to be there if you ignore your hearing loss. Get in and get tested, get a baseline, and let us help you preserve your understanding.
Okay, that's great. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Find out more by going to hammhearingaids.com.
For more details, go to Health First on WECT.com.